I started this project, which was just supposed to be the kids' clothes. I was getting rid of the clothes that don't fit them, bringing in the things from the shed, doing that whole thing, which is probably my least favorite job. Then I was just like, my OCD took over, I tried to just clean and stay to just cleaning. And then I just pulled the beds away, and then I was like, gotta take the curtains down. And I just kept going, and now I'm painting the room. I actually have leftover paint from doing the hallway or the stairwell that I didn't like. So I have that, and I think it might be just the right amount. I really hope so. I really hope so, because I do not want to go buy more of that paint. So unless I do like a band around the middle, I just kind of want to paint the walls. I don't want to get too fancy. It needs to happen. Also because this year we found in our AC units mold. And so we've had to take them apart. We hired somebody to come take them apart completely, clean them. Thank God we got the ones that you could actually do that. And now they're clean, but I just worry about this like leftover mold in the house, and painting the walls is a great way to get rid of that. So it's a win-win. It's just, I had other plans for today. Oh well. I really dislike all the prep work that goes into painting a room. Once I decide what I'm doing, I don't want to waste time masking off a room. However, it is extremely gratifying when you mask everything off and then you come in with your paint and you don't have to be careful and you're just like, you roll it out. It is very enjoyable to do that. I'm also tempted to paint my living room for the 4th time. I painted it so many colors. It's a dark, like chocolatey charcoal right now. Everybody calls black, and it's not black. And, but it is quite dark, and Luca does not like it. And so I'm very tempted to just go over it and be like, surprise, I made it lighter again and make him happy. But I don't know. When we were building the house, my anchor design points were Scandinavian, Californian, Scandi, Scandi, I don't know. But that's what I was going for. And so I gotta like keep that in mind. Otherwise, you end up with a house that's all like from a design aspect, it's all disjointed and doesn't have a consistent theme throughout. So I'm trying to think what to do with this whole situation. Do I want to leave that part just white? Do I want to go all color if I can? Do I go underneath color? What do I do? I think I'm gonna have to wait and see how much color I actually have. See if I can go over everything, if it works well, and then if it does, I'll have an extra. I'll just fill it in. And if not, I'm just gonna leave it. Everything. We have to do the ceiling. Well, do have to tape off this ceiling. Fun fact, none of our ceilings have a level line. None of our floors have a level line either. They're all wavy. So you just have to put down tape in a way that it makes it look straight. Will you turn off my camera for me? All right, it's day 2. Luca came and helped with some holes here. They feel pretty dry, so I didn't start yesterday because I thought I can't paint over the wet plaster, so I'm gonna give it a day to dry. Yesterday, my kids are staying with their grandparents and said they want to come home, so I'm gonna try to finish this up real quick, so then I have the freedom to go get them. And you know, these things, it's like impossible to do with your kids. That's why it's always really nice to get it done when they're away. You know, they're all having a vacation. I'm working. This little old lady is deaf and blind. Yes, huh? And she keeps hanging around and getting in my way. And I hate to lock her out because it's just us at home. But I also don't want to trip on her or drop paint on her face. Okay, speaking of paint, we're ready. Now, this color I bought thinking that I was going to do the hallway or the stairwell in this color. And then I did a test strip and I thought, I don't like that, which I was very upset about because I just bought this much paint. And is it my favorite color? No. Is it a nice color? Yes. And I was debating whether to go with like this very warm white for this kid's room. And then I just thought, you know what? Let's put some color in the kids' room. Let's do it. I am no professional painter. I've never been taught how to paint a room. I just think, let's just do it. It would be nice if I wasn't so crammed here, that I was actually give myself some space on this side while I... This does look nice. Yes. Of course, how's it gonna dry? That is always the million-dollar question. Now, eventually, this room is going to be the boys' room. I think this is a nice color for a boys' room as well. It would also be a good color for a girls' room, I think. There's something very Disneyland about it, actually. Oh, no. Removing this as soon as you paint. Otherwise, if it's dried out, it'll take the paint right with it, and then you don't have a nice clean line, which happened on the other wall in a very obvious place, of course. Oh, that's super annoying. Hopefully nobody will notice it. Oh my gosh, this is so hard. There's a nail here that I don't dare take out of the wall because it is so hard to put nails in walls here. We're just gonna go right around that. Whoa. When I called Luca and told him I wanted to do this project, he said, "This is the most Tina King thing you could tell me." Tina King is my mom, and it's true. It's funny because it's true, because my entire childhood, I have these memories that every single time my dad went out of town, which was quite often, he was like a traveling sales rep for ASICS. But every time my dad went out of town, my mom would do a project. And my dad would always be like, "Oh, you did that while I was gone." And it was just like our normal life, so it never occurred to me that this was unique or interesting until now. And I'm like, oh, now I get it. She just did it because she goes, "That's a good idea." And she thinks if I try to tell Jim about this, he's going to try to convince me out of it, or he's not going to like it. And it's so funny because it's very similar with Luca and I. When we first started building the house, every idea I came up with, he said, "I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't think I like that. I don't know if this or this." And what we kind of what we discovered was that I have a really good ability for visualizing something in a space that's not there yet. I can look at a room and think, if I do this and this, and in my mind I can make a mental picture of what it will look like. And he does not have that, which is interesting because he has something called synesthesia or something like that, which is like, if you say a name, he gets an immediate mental, like, not even image, it's like a video or a movie of that name. The first time I realized this was when we were trying to name our children, and he'd be like, oh no, we can't use that name, because it gave him some weird mental picture. The name Olivia, he's like, oh, Olivia is so beautiful because it's like you're laying on the beach and you're looking up and the palm trees are like swaying through the sunlight as it's coming down. Like this is the level of imagery his mind can put out, but he can't visualize a color on a wall. So when we were building the house, we made an agreement, which was, if Luca absolutely loathed something I was going to do, he could veto it, but he had to really despise it. Really, really dislike it. Otherwise, he just was going to trust that my decisions and my choices were going to work out. And, you know, it ended up working out really well for us. So anyways, I usually tell him I want to do these projects because I want like a level of support. And it's really hard when you're a mom and you're a wife and you're trying to do the whole house thing and you're just like, please don't fight me on this. Like, I just need support. All right, I'm going to see if this, I'm going to be real lazy, like real lazy on this part of the wall. I'm not going to do that side. And I'm just going to go in with this guy, really wet. And I can already tell it's making a mess, but you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm just going to come in with a white and just touch it up on that side. When we bought this house, you know, there's things that you splurge on, there's things that you don't splurge on, that you can afford, that you can't afford. One of the things we splurged on, which was really boring, was like the most expensive insulation. And one of the things that we went cheaper on was painting, because at the time I was like, I don't know what colors I really want everything to be. It felt like an enormous decision to make. And paint was really expensive. And so we ended up just going with the cheapest of the cheap paints. And I kind of regret that decision. I'm getting close. I'm getting close. And I'm gonna have enough paint to do that one section, which is fantastic news. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that worked out really well. The kids FaceTimed me and they are very excited. They're very excited about their new room, as they should be. All right, it's time for the very satisfying end of the project, pulling away of the tape. I'm afraid to bump into anything because it's not perfectly dry. And I kind of want to tear off all the tape and then see if there's any spots that are really bad. And then I can go in and doctor them up. But voila, for your viewing pleasure. Oh. And now I get to go in and clean up all the paint off the floor. All I do is I take a wet rag and I just go over it. And it doesn't take too much elbow grease to get it cleaned up. Still quite messy. I just mopped the floor. So I'm going to go make myself lunch now. And then I really think I need to wash all the bedding. The color drying looks darker than I thought it would be, which is probably why I did not put it down here. And now looking at this color, I'm so glad I didn't put that one on this wall. It's not the right color. And I'm very happy with that color. I think this is a really nice color for a kid's room. I do not like bright, loud colors. I don't. I'm very un-Slovenian in this way. I go to people's houses and their rooms are painted like neon green, neon orange. And it's like their kitchen, their living room, their bedrooms, all these extremely bright colors. I feel like they're compensating for the sadness that socialism has left. But it's just, I cannot live in loud colors like that. I personally cannot. I like very peaceful, muted, soft colors. And I think that the kids will really like that room though. It's a nice color for a kids' room. I guess they're a little bit too long, huh?
What?
Said I guess they're a little bit too long, but they're so pretty. Wow, Gabby. I'm just gonna climb up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow. Oh, what are you recording? Up our new room. It's very nice. I'm not doing a good job at this because I don't care. I just want to get it done. I'm not steaming it. I'm not washing it. I just, you know, when you think a project is going to take, you're like, this will be a 2-day project. And then it turns into a 5-day.
Look.
Oh, good. The curtains were really, really long. And maybe it would have been better if I had just washed and dried them and see if they'd shrunk up. I first hung these ones up thinking they were going to replace the other ones, and then the room was quite light and bright, so I decided, all right, I'll hang up the other dark blue ones again, but I'll give them a wash. And they shrunk. I washed them on cold water. I didn't even dry them in the dryer. I put them in the dryer on a wool setting so it would just like toss them a little. And then I hung them outside to dry. And it's just, I guess the agitation or whatever made it shrink. Super annoying. I am hoping these ones are gonna touch the ground in front of it, and that'll be that, and it'll be enough. The last of the last things I need to do was, once I was done painting, I looked at the room and I thought, I have to put doors on these wardrobes. I had said I've been saying that I want to do this for a while, and I just haven't committed because it's 50 to 75 euros per door. So I think that's why I've just postponed. Almost there, almost there. I am happy with the colors though, so I think it's gonna all work together. The other one's so straightforward. This one not working well. Why? Perfect. Perfect. Look at this. Was perfect. Not anymore. All right. I think I just need to do one more vacuum and then we're done.